Ever convinced yourself you know exactly what someone else is thinking, even when they haven't said a word? That's mind reading, and it's a common thinking trap that we often fall into. Hi, I'm Gbemi, or Coach G as my clients like to call me. Back again doing what I love to do, simplifying the complex science so you can have better outcomes. In this series, we've been exploring cognitive distortions, those sneaky thinking patterns our brains trick us with that distort our reality and can negatively impact our mental health. Today, we're talking about mind reading, which is when we assume we know what others are thinking without any evidence. It's like having a superpower that doesn't actually exist. So, you're hanging out with a friend and they seem a bit quiet. Mind reading might have you thinking, they're mad at me for something I said or did yesterday, or they're tired of this friendship, I better withdraw and give them space. Or maybe you're in a meeting at work and your boss appears distracted. Mind reading might lead you to thinking, they're disappointed in my work and I'm going to get fired. I better start looking for another job. You might be asking, what's wrong with drawing conclusions based on what we perceive? Isn't that normal? Should I not trust my own perceptions? These are great questions. We're meaning makers after all. Our minds are constantly engaged in the process of interpreting events and situations based on previous knowledge. And yes, we know from experience that our assessment might actually be accurate. Keyword, might. What happens with mind reading is that we're definitive about something that's a possibility, which leads to acting on assumptions that might turn out to be incorrect. We'll tell ourselves we think we know what they're thinking and feeling, and without challenging those thoughts, we act on them. Like I made sure to establish in the earlier videos in this series, cognitive distortions are a normal part of being human. Our brains create mental filters as shortcuts to reduce the burden of processing lots of information at once. The problem with this perfectly normal human tendency is that when these biased thoughts become consistent and go unchecked, they can create negative patterns in the way we think, interfering with daily life and distorting the way we see ourselves, our specific day-to-day situations, or our relationships and other people. Mind reading, for example, can create unnecessary drama and hurt in our relationships. It can lead to anxiety, fear of rejection, and misunderstandings. The good news, when we recognize these cognitive distortions that we're prone to, we can challenge them and replace them with more helpful ways of thinking, which is why I'm committed to providing you with psychoeducation. Here are some tips to overcome mind reading. 1. Acknowledge the brain's job of coming up with stories and challenge your assumptions. Just because you think you know what someone is thinking doesn't mean it's true. Be open to the possibility that you might be wrong. It's important to note that there are more possibilities than the ones our brains automatically generate, and make a habit of reviewing them prior to acting on them. 2. Focus on facts, not fantasies. Instead of assuming what the other person is thinking, focus on their actual words and behaviors. 3. Communicate openly and respond with curiosity. If you're unsure about something, ask the other person directly. Clear communication can prevent misunderstandings. 4. Practice mindfulness and pay attention to your own thoughts and emotions. This can help us to recognize when we're making assumptions about others and intervene to change our thinking patterns. Remember, you're not alone. We all tend to make assumptions about what others are thinking and feeling. By challenging our mind-reading tendencies, we can build better relationships. If your struggles with mind-reading persist, it may be helpful to seek professional help from a mental health expert. Cognitive behavioral therapy is a great way to get to the root of negative thought patterns and change them for the better. If you're eager to explore more ways to improve your mental and emotional health, follow me as I simplify the complex science so you can apply it to your life today. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next episode.